He's like, get in here, shut the hell up. If you say or try to do anything, I'm going to shoot you. What's up, you guys? It's your girl Antisocial T, and we are back today with another story time. But before we get into this story time, make sure you give your girl a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and comment down below. Today's story time took place, it wasn't very long ago, but it may have been over 7 years ago, maybe 7, 8 years ago. Can't quite remember. But anyway, so yeah. It took place then, and at the time I was engaged to this guy. I'm gonna call him social media. And I call him social media because he was just so like worried about how the people that he was friends with on social media perceived him. Like, he was this kind of like flashy guy or whatever, and he just liked to put people in his business. That's just how I take it. He wanted people to know. He wanted people to feel like he was that guy. Because a lot of women used to like him. A lot of women wanted to date him. They would be doing, you know how women do. They would be doing the most, trying to be seen and heard. Ha kikiing about anything. He could say, I'm finna go doo-doo. They gon', I'm finna go doo-doo too type crap. But anyway, so yeah. He was so worried about how people thought about him and felt about him. And he would be the type of guy that likes to post his guns, talk about money, post his money. And whereas me, on the other hand, I'm a very private person. The most I don't mind posting his pictures. But when it comes to how we getting our money, what kind of money we getting, what we doing with our money, how we spending all of our days, like, I do not like that. Every now and again, it's okay to post that we done went on a date and we did this and that, because we have date nights. Or we would just hang out, period, tough. We would just do little stuff. But that's fine sometimes, but to be just giving too much detail about your life and your livelihood, like, this is too much. I couldn't stand that. That's one of the big issues we had. And he would get mad when people didn't like, oh yeah, because he was a barber, he used to post a lot of his barbering stuff on there. He talk about barbering schools and just talk about education, certain stuff that he have gotten into in his life. And the people, and you know how people do, they like certain posts, but some things they won't like. When it comes to some real personal, like in your private life or whatever, they love that. They are on that. We getting so many likes and comments. People like, y'all my favorite Facebook couple. Like, people literally was saying it. Like, we have ran into people on the street like, oh y'all my favorite Facebook couple. This, that, just doing the most, y'all. Like, oh my goodness. So yeah. And me, on the other hand, I didn't like all that attention. I'm not the person that likes to be the center of attention. So it kind of like made me feel cringy. Like, ooh, you doing too much. I know, right? But yeah, Mr. Social Media, all on there, doing too much, posting all his business on there. I'm like, you need to stop doing it because you don't know who's watching. I'm like, and then you tell me that every time you've moved somewhere, somebody have broken into your space, stolen something from you, then trying to break into your car, whatever. Why you keep posting all your business on here? Why you posting how much money you did? Oh, he used to post stuff like, oh, I made a nice little profit today. Why the heck you posting it on Facebook, fool? What the hell? I couldn't stand that. And not only that, he had been cutting hair out his parents' home. And this is like right when we got together. He had been doing it before we got together. Because, yeah, he was doing that. And it was, I'm sure mostly it was people that he was really cool with. And eventually he started really getting clients. So he would just be cutting people hair out the home or whatever. But when we got together, we eventually moved in together. Because he had proposed to me. And we eventually moved in together. And yeah, where we stayed was in a unit in the back of the apartment complex we stayed in, which these were actually townhouses. And they were really nice, y'all. They were really, really big. It was a nice townhouse. And I'm sure at one point these used to be the spot. And it was still nice when we was there, but let him tell it. They kind of ghetto now. I'm like, yeah, they might be a little ghetto, but whatever. They was still nice. And we were in the back. But at the time, we didn't know that we stayed next to a burn unit, y'all. This is very important in the story time. We stayed next to a burn unit. And what I'm talking about, what I mean when I say a burn unit, is a unit that was actually like blacked out, had been burned, had caught on fire on the inside or whatever. But it wasn't to the point where you can tell. Like, we did not know until after the situation happened that this was actually a burning. I'm just like, dang, their house always dark. I used to think the apartment was always black. I knew nobody really stayed there or whatever. But like I said, we had other things going on. My business. Of course, I'm going to pay attention to the things that's possibly going on around me, but I'm not going to be out of nobody else's house. That ain't my business. So, yeah. During this time, I had a job, but I had lost my job right before we moved or whatever. I had been working this little spot or whatever. And he was like, that's fine. You ain't got to work. I'm going to take care of us. He was like, I don't want you doing all that. But you know, if you know me, I'm the person where I want my own money. I'm going to always try to have my own money. I had a job since I was probably 13 years old, whatever. So I eventually get like this little part-time job close to our house. Like kind of up the street at this store or whatever. He did not like it, of course. He wanted me to just not work there because he didn't like the girl that I was working for. And I actually knew this girl from college. Like I had went to a private college my first semester and I met her there and she was really, really cool there. But there, oh, it's like she was loving that she was my boss type stuff. Girl, I will whoop your pregnant this place. That's how I used to feel about her. Like, girl, don't play with me. She was just on some real, like, hater stuff. Like, she would not like that he would come down there and see me. I'm like, why you all in your feelings about my dude coming to see me? He's a paying customer. It doesn't matter if I'm talking to him. I'm talking to the customers. But your dude won't come visit you at work because he never came up there. So I don't know if she got pregnant and her and the dude was having issues. I don't really care. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So yeah, eventually I quit that job. I wasn't even there a month. He was like, heck no, stay away from there because I'm a whoop. I was like, nah, you gonna make me. As soon as you lose that baby, I'm gonna go back up there and whoop. But anyway, so yeah. Fast forward, I eventually started working at the job that I had for, I think I had the job for like over 8 or 9 years. So yeah, I started working there. I forgot I even applied to the job. I might get this job, whatever. But the schedule I had, it balanced out for us both. Because not only did he cut hair, he actually still had a job he had been in for some years. And he probably would work that job. He probably worked, what, 12 hours at a job maybe? So yeah, it was convenient enough for me to be able to drop him off at work, me go to work, me leave work, and pick him up in a couple hours. So it worked out for us. And so I was just like ready to have my own transportation because it would be times where eventually he left that job and he would quit. He had quit that job or whatever. And he would drop me off and then come pick me up. And I never liked nobody like dropping me off or picking me up because when I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go. At this point, it's a little over 5 months and I got a promotion and I started working way more hours. So I got a vehicle of my own. I probably had got a little spoiled this time because I'm like, what's taking you so long to come get me type stuff? And it was raining real bad one day. And I guess it was taking him so long. But I was so irritated that day. I don't know, I didn't have a good day that day for some reason. I was mad about some stuff that day. And I was so ready to go. And then, so yeah, we would have a lot of little traffic coming in at the house. And of course, somebody watching thinking we got money because he got a little traffic out there. And it's not that type of traffic. It's because this is clientele that's coming in and out the house or whatever. And so a stupid person would think that in this day and age, people would still be putting money in shoeboxes. You're a fool if you're doing that. He was not doing that. Why? Why would I do that? Knowing we staying here and just knowing somebody is watching. But again, Mr. Social Media like to put out his business online. So you know they watching you. Because apparently to these women, you that dude. But anyway, so yeah, they watching. And then when we stay close to a train, y'all. And so you just never know what kind of crap's coming across that train. And that train, y'all, was scary. If you ever seen this movie called The Conjuring and the noise that it will make when it comes on, that howling noise, that's how this train sounded at night. And I would literally be scared to go down our steps. Because like I said, we stay in a townhouse. I would be scared to go downstairs to the kitchen or anything. Like I would turn all the lights on up the steps to go downstairs or make him come down there with me. I was like really scared to go down there. And you just, like I said, you just never know. Like where we stay, anybody could have came in and I don't even know. I'm just saying. So he got a little traffic. Of course, some of the women, they come, they being all shady, they salty, being rude and not speaking, and I be on him like, you need to tell them stop being rude to me. Like, we ain't gotta be buddy and have a conversation, but they not even speaking when they come in here, and I know they clearly see me on this damn couch. So I don't know, he said something to somebody. He said something like, make sure y'all see some lady, you know how he do. Well, y'all don't know. But yeah, and I don't know, like, you can hear one of the ladies like, girl, screw you. I'll fight you. But anyway, so yeah. Fast forward to this one particular day. Like I said, I believe somebody had been watching us. And I to this day believe that this person is somebody that he associated with. Probably still to this day. Because the voice was very familiar, you guys. Like I can still remember the voice. Like his voice was so freaking familiar, and I just could not think of who this person was, because I do remember the guy coming there, like, because I remember the voice, but I couldn't put together which guy it was. Like in my mind, I couldn't put it together. I couldn't think of the build. Like I couldn't remember, honestly. And then these same guys that come there, they literally come there and hit on me. Or if they was like, wait, because he would be around on the kitchen dining area cutting, and if somebody was sitting there waiting with me, like they would literally be trying to touch on my legs and just do the most. I didn't say too much to him in that moment because I know how he was. I didn't want him to do the most. I can't have you going to jail leaving me here for shooting somebody. No. So yeah, I eventually tell him like, them guys be hitting on me or whatever. I tell him, your humble was hitting on me. For him, the type of guy that he was, like I said, he was so into what people felt and thought about him, or how he looked or perceived to be. I really feel like it boosted his ego or whatever when he knew that the guys wanted his lady. So yeah, he was like, I ain't worried about that. You need to be, because that's I feel violent, that's disrespectful. But anyway, we ain't gonna get too detailed about that. But anyway, so yeah, they will be hitting on me or whatever. So like I said, it can very well be, it very well could be one of the guys. I just remember the voice, but it would be so many of them trying to hit on me. I couldn't remember everybody, but I do remember the voice. And I'm like, I know this voice, but I could not tell who this guy was, you guys. But anyway, so yeah. And the guy that I'm talking about is a guy that had me at gunpoint once I came into the house. And this is a particular day when I had dropped him off at work. And I was like, you know what? I got a couple hours before I go to sleep or whatever. So I'm going to go to sleep and then I get ready for work. But as I'm getting into the house, the guy had me at gunpoint. He's like, get in here, shut the hell up. If you say or try to do anything, I'm going to shoot you. I'm like, what? So yeah, I had to stop my video or whatever. So yeah, the guy's like, I'm going to shoot you. And so he's like, where's your money? Where's your card? Give me all that you got and give me your phone. Give me your keys. And then so I get him all my stuff. He's like, what's your PIN number to your card? And at the time, y'all, I wasn't thinking like, it's another way that you can give somebody your information and it will alert the bank that basically your information has been stolen. And I wasn't thinking that at the time. And if you don't know what it is and you just don't know, I'm not going to put that on here for the thieves to try to figure it out. But anyway, so yeah, I wasn't thinking at the time. So I get him my PIN number or whatever, because what I was thinking was, if I give him the wrong information, he's going to kill me. Because I was thinking like he's going to take me with him and go pull this stuff out the bank. And I was thinking all that, like, he gonna have me at gunpoint, he's gonna be with me, make sure I pull this money out the bank or whatever. But he didn't do that. But he did get the money out. So we having a conversation as he's tying me up or whatever. He didn't take my mouth right away. But we having a conversation, and in my mind, he landed on the floor and he's behind me. But as he's doing so, he's sexually assaulting me. Just know that. He was kissing all on me, fondling on me and whatever. Yeah, he's sexually assaulting me, whatever. But anyway, so yeah, as he's doing this and whatever, we's talking. And I'm like, in my mind, like, I guess this time I'm gonna die. Like, it's amazing how calm and at peace I was. I wasn't reacting. I wasn't overreacting. I wasn't really freaking out or whatever. I was crying, of course. But I was thinking, like, I guess it's just the way I'm gonna die. Like, I was kind of like making my peace with it or whatever. But and my reason behind me not reacting crazy to him or trying to fight him was because I was trying to, in a sense, kind of like get in his head or whatever. So where I'm cooperating, I'm letting him do what he's gonna do. But I know I'm gonna get myself out of this. And it may sound crazy, but I wanted him to not feel threatened by me. I wanted him to feel comfortable and safe in a sense, because I knew that I was gonna try to get myself out the situation. Not fight him, but try to get myself out the situation. Because I was like, okay, if he's tying me up, so he's not gonna take me. So he's gonna leave me here. I knew in my mind that I was gonna get myself out of this situation if he left me. So yes, he ties me up, and then he eventually takes my mouth, and then as he's tying me up there, he puts me in this chair, whatever, and he ties me up on this chair, you guys. He didn't hit me with the gun, but he did hit me. Like, he was hitting on me or whatever. And so I'm thinking like, oh my God, he finna knock me out. But he didn't. So he ties me up and he takes me around to this closet we had in our kitchen, whatever. He puts me in there. I'm like, please don't lock the closet. Please don't lock the closet. And he did block it or whatever. So after he does that, I wait before I felt like he left the house, because I was thinking like, he can be trying to play with my head and try to see what I'm gonna do. You know how somebody will close the door but not leave out the door? Like, I was thinking he was doing that. But I probably waited for a good maybe 7 or 8 minutes before I realized that he had left. I was trying to listen, like be quiet, listen for him getting into the car and leaving. Like, I was making sure I heard all of that. And I did. Like, he left out. I heard him get into the car and he left, because like I said, he took the keys and he took the car and left. So my time is very, very limited, because I don't know how quick he's going to come back, because his bank's nearby or ATM's nearby. So y'all, I'm trying to, you know, get myself up to try to get the door open, push on the door, try to push on the door, get myself out the door. I'm still kind of tired up or whatever, you guys. I get out, get myself close enough to get a knife and just start cutting all this stuff off of me, enough for me to try to get up out of here and run. So I break free. I sprint out of our front door. I'm going to my next door neighbor like, oh my God, I'm hysterical at this point. I'm crying, I'm screaming. I'm trying to get him to wake up or whatever. He eventually opens the door, and it's a neighbor that I actually met, you know, through social media. Like, we had talked, we actually met this neighbor, me in social media or whatever. So he knew who I was. He's like, what's going on? What's going on? I'm trying to explain to him what's going on. Like, this man and Rod, he done broke into our house and he done tied me up and he assaulted me and this and the third. And so he's like, come in the house, go in the house. He calls the police, and he actually had company there. I'm sure he told us in the back. But, cause I can hear him talking to somebody. Tell her to go to the back, go to the back. And so, yeah, he calls the police, and then I end up getting in touch with my family or whatever and calling them, and they get out there, and then eventually social media, he gets to the house and comes, and his dad and all them, like they eventually get a hold of him. He eventually I guess he called his dad to get away to the house. Y'all, when I say the look he had on his face, he had every emotion on his face. And I'm trying to tell him, like, I don't know who it is. I said, the voice sounds so familiar. Like, I just could not think of who the guy was. And in case you were wondering, No, I could not tell who this guy was at all. I couldn't even tell what his skin complexion was. He was covered completely. They let you know he been doing this for a while. And me, I was a bunch of emotions. I was thinking all kinds of stuff. Because I eventually started thinking like, maybe he set me up to do this so he can break up with me type stuff. I was thinking all kinds of stuff. I didn't trust nobody at this point. I said, it could be any one of them rude chicks and did. I was thinking everybody like, but I honestly believe it was somebody that is very close to him. And he probably still associated with this guy to this day. He probably still cutting his hair. Because as I think about it, I started thinking about the guy who I really think it is. Yeah, there's somebody whom he had been dealing with them for a long time. So I don't see him not being this barber. But then again, people fall out all the time. And then, like I said, he was telling me that this would happen to him a lot. Like every time he moved somewhere, somebody would break into his house. And one time he was like, the power had went out and they left for a few days and came back. All that stuff was gone. Like, how nobody see nobody take your stuff out your house? And I'm sure they had to come back during the daylight because the power was out. Maybe they thought they was moving. I don't know. I don't really care. That's his issue. You stay your butt off social media, start posting your business, they wouldn't think that. But even then, it's somebody that knows him. Somebody he's probably really close to. So I was thinking of, and he ain't the only person I was thinking, the guy. It was somebody else I thought probably did it. But when I thought about the voice, then yeah. This was somebody that was close to him. Somebody that had been watching us because they calculated when we left to do what they need to do because they had ransacked that house. Like, what person in their right mind would leave money in shoeboxes? He didn't do that. Like, why would you think he would leave his money in a dang on shoebox in the house? Nobody do that in these day and age. You's a fool to think that because somebody's always watching your moves, especially when you're an entrepreneur. They thinking you pulling in a lot of money. They gonna try to come target you. And that's my thing with him, like my issue with him. Stop putting your personal business on social media because I can't stand that. I'm a very private person. I do not like people in my business. And you posting this stuff, you trying to appear to be that guy posting your guns and talking about money on here. Oh, you asking for trouble, fool. So anyway, yeah, they get a police report and whatever. Eventually, I get my money back from my bank. Like I said, it was a way I could have gave him my information. He would have put my pen in a certain way for them to know, but I didn't think that at the time. But they believed me because, of course, I had police report. I moved out that same day, y'all. I wasn't playing no freaking games. I moved. I got a U-Haul. I moved all my stuff out and went back to my mama's house. I wasn't staying there. And I was like, if you want to come with me, you can. Or you go to your folks' house, you come to my folks' house. It don't matter until we find somewhere to stay. I'm not staying there. But of course, he like I said, he was trying all kinds of emotion, trying to figure out who did it. He stayed there that night and slept on the couch, whatever. I'm like, I'm not staying in this house because I took our bed. I left that house. I took the bed and everything with us, like with me, because we had just got this bed. I was like, you can just come here with me. I took everything. I did not stay in that house. He stayed there. I wasn't having it. No, thank you. I don't trust it. I feel unsafe. I've been assaulted and violated. No. And then, like I said, we didn't know at the time that the apartment next to us was a burn unit until this situation happened. It's like nobody stayed there. It was completely blacked out. I'm thinking maybe, somebody just, because it was curtains up, so it just looked dark in there. I'm thinking like maybe they just painted their walls black. You just never know. Hey y'all, I forgot to mention that this is where the guy that did this to me was staying in this burn unit right next door to us, y'all. He was really there staking out our spot, y'all. It's crazy. But they most definitely had kicked our door in or whatever and came on in that house because when they checked it around the back, you can see where it was broke all off. But when he was taking me around the kitchen, I couldn't really tell, because for one, I'm tied up. I'm trying to look a little bit, but I'm not trying to do the most, trying to trigger him or anything like that. And it was closed up, but he most definitely had kicked it in and kicked out the hinges, whatever. But you guys, I was so freaked out from that story, from that time. I just, like I said, I wasn't trusting anybody. I was thinking he was setting me up, trying to break up with me. I was thinking all kinds of stuff. I don't really know. But yeah, I'll talk a little bit more about him and the demise of our relationship. But you got to be tuned in and subscribe to my channel for me to give you that information. Like, you gotta be a subscriber to be able to see those videos, because I'm not gonna post that just completely publicly unless you subscribed. So make sure you give your girl a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, you guys, and comment down below. Thank y'all for tuning in with me today. I just remember tied up. Time took place, of course, in my late 20s. Was it? Yeah, my late 20s.